This is Dan of Vagabond Awake.
𝗕liche from 𝗕 Adventure.
And we're sitting on the beach here in Nha Trang, Vietnam, and we decided we wanted to discuss something with you. Should you limit the places you visit or are considering retiring overseas only to countries that speak English?
Yeah, I think this is a very tough question. If you want an English-speaking country, and then the cost will be more, you know.
Yeah.
But if you can be half-half, which is half you use a hand language and a Google Translate, you know, by your phone, then you are living quite pretty cheap.
The reason we bring this subject up is because we often get comments on our videos. Oh wow, Thailand looks beautiful, but they don't speak English there, or Vietnam looks beautiful, but they don't speak English there. I only want to move to maybe Philippines. I only want to move to, I guess maybe Malaysia has more English speakers than other. When I think about that question, I think about all the amazing places we've been around the world that don't have hardly any English speakers, and we've had an amazing time, and it really hasn't affected our experience. Very little has it affected our experience, and just so many beautiful parts of the world where we spent months where we just thoroughly enjoyed ourselves, where technically no one around us spoke enough English or whatever. Okay, this is the latest breaking news. After Chung and I did the video you're watching, we got this Time Kettle T1 language translator in the mail. Now, there was one time when we didn't really think we solved the translation problem, and that would be for a more intimate or detailed conversation than just ordering dinner or asking for directions. And that's what this thing would come in handy for. But we just got it in the mail. We haven't tested it. We're going to test it now. And after we handle that problem and give our advice on it, we'll show you what I've been doing for 17 years in countries where I don't speak the local language, and what Chung's been doing with me for the last 7 as she's been joining me travel the world. Okay, let's get started. So this is Chung of 𝗕 Adventures, and I'm Dan of Vagabond Awakes, and we're going to test this translator, and we're going to have a pretend conversation. I'll be speaking English. Chung will be speaking her language of choice, whatever it is at the moment. She speaks 7 languages, and we'll see whether or not this thing does what it's paid for. You good?
I'm good.
Let's do it. So the apartment that you just showed me, how much does it rent for per month?
那么你刚才给我看的公寓每月租金是多少？
每个月的租金是2000块美金。
照。
每个月的租金是2000块美金。
1 month's rent is $2,000.
And is there a minimum period of the lease that you must have, like a year or 6 months?
那么您必须有1年或6个月的最短租期吗？
不需要，你可以每个月租。
No, you can rent every month.
What utilities are included in the $2,000 per month? Is it water, gas, Wi-Fi? What does it include?
每月2000元包含哪些水电费？是水、煤气吗？无线上网？它包括什么？
The 2000
Tutor.
每月2000元包含水电费，然后还有 Wi-Fi。
2,000 yuan per month, including water and electricity bills, and Wi-Fi.
Okay, and I saw there's a swimming pool and I see a big parking lot. Does it include the swimming pool? And if not, how much more is that per month, including parking?
好的，我看到有一个游泳池，还有一个很大的停车场，包括游泳池吗？如果没有的话，每个月还要多花多少钱？包括停车费？
这2000块美金已经包括了游泳池，还有停车场的一个位置。
$2,000 already included the swimming pool and a spot in the parking lot.
What is the nearest grocery store and a laundry? Because I don't know how to do laundry.
最近的杂货店和洗衣店是哪家？因为我不会，所以我不知道怎么洗衣服。
我可以介绍你佣人，所以每3个小时就付一次。
I can introduce you to a maid, so apply it every 3 hours.
Is there a grocery store nearby? What's the nearest grocery store?
附近有杂货店吗？最近的杂货店是哪家？
附近有杂货店，最近的杂货店是 MCD。
There are grocery stores nearby. The nearest grocery store is MCD.
Okay, is this area known for safety, or is there a crime-ridden area?
好的，这个区域是否以安全着称，或者是否存在犯罪猖獗的区域？
这个区域是很安全，你可以完全放心。
This community is very safe and you can feel completely at ease.
What are the would the rent be raised in the first year, do you think?
Here I am.
Would the rent be raised in the first year?
租金将在第1年的基础上重新提高。
不会，第1年呢都是2000块美金，而且你不需要6个月的合约。
Otherwise, it's $2,000 every year, and you don't need a 6-month contract.
Oh, so no 6-month contract, and it'll be 2,000 next year too?
哦，所以没有6个月的合同，明年也是2000。
我要跟屋主商量，再给你知道。
I'll discuss it with the owner and let you know.
Do you know, are there any beautiful women like yourselves living in the complex?
你知道小区里有像你一样的漂亮女人吗？
据我所知，他们都是变性人。如果你有兴趣的话，
乔治。
据我所知，全部都是变性人。你需要有这个要求吗？
As far as I know, they are all transgender. Do you need to have this requirement?
Well, as you can see, it's not perfect, but she's speaking a completely different language. I don't know what she's talking about in Chinese.
正如你所看到的，这并不完美，但
But it's translating enough for her to understand, and I should ask her. You know both languages, English and Chinese. Obviously, there's some mistakes here, but what's your overall impression of it?
Overall, it's quite accurate. It depends on how you are saying the word. Because sometimes when I speak in Chinese, and it's translated to a little bit slightly different, you know?
Right. Okay, good. So that's the T1 by Time Kettle translator. They gave it to us. If you buy one, we won't make any money. I just wanted to review it for you. We were interested in it because sometimes we end up in places where we're having trouble communicating with someone. We were hoping for something a little like this that would have a deeper conversation. All the functions, there's way more, there's like 4 more major functions this does, like translating ingredients on labels in grocery stores, and it also works for a lecture. You could put it on a lectern and you could hear what the translation, there's other functions. If you just Google Time Kettle T1 translator and go there and see what the functions are, you can find out more about it. But now Chung and I will tell you what we've been doing for the last 17 years for me and 7 years for Chung as we travel around the world before we had a toy like this.
Sure.
On we go. even in places where they say they speak English, it's not the same kind of English you have in your home country, whether you're British or Australian or American. Even Americans have a hard time understanding British or Australian accents and vice versa. And so if you go somewhere like the Philippines, don't expect to have the same kind of conversations with the same kind of vocabularies and understand the nuances that you're going to if you talk to somebody from your hometown or your part of the country. And so, it does help to have more English around you, but I would hate to just given up everything I've seen around the world.
I think that you should come to a country and just try it, It actually is quite hard for people who speak only English to a country that don't speak English. Example, I went to Mexico.
Right.
And then I only can speak English. I don't speak Spanish, you know.
Right.
So I got frustrated, Sorry. So I got frustrated about that no one understand me, even 1, 2, 3 or thank you or whatsoever. Like what word are in right now? And no one even know what is me thank you.
Right.
I was like, oh God. But actually, there is a beginning, the first few days when I arrived in Mexico. And after that, I spent more time. I learned the language, and I just feel like it's way more fun and it's way more interesting. And I love language as well. So it's a good chance for me to learn a language, Right. And example also, the second example is in Vietnam. So they don't speak much English. So learn their language and then speak some with them, and they are very happy. And some more, they maybe give you a discount. That is a good thing, that if you speak their language.
Yeah, I have to say, probably my 4th trip, at least 3rd trip to Vietnam, and I actually can't think of any Vietnamese words I know. But I have noticed that the Vietnamese people know the important nouns. So if there's probably only 10 or 15 nouns you need to know to get most of what you want out of life. There's probably only 10 or 15 nouns you need to know to get most of what you want out of life. Bathroom.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. Thank you.
No, excuse me was how to call as bathroom.
In what language?
In Vietnamese.
I just said I don't know a single word in Vietnam.
Oh, true.
Are you teasing me? Tell me, how do you say bathroom?
No, but I know how to say hello. Xin chào and thank you is come on.
But now you have to go to the bathroom. How do you? I'm just teasing you back. I know you don't know bathroom. The other thing that I have to say that's quite delightful about being in a country where you don't understand the local language is that you don't understand how much of your day, when people are speaking around you, they'll drop a word or two, and when you know everything that everyone's saying around you, your mind just runs off in all these different directions. It's not very peaceful. But think of it more like when you're walking through a mountain and you're hearing birds chirping and crickets making noises. There's all these noises going on around you, and you don't know, and those noises don't mean anything to you other than that it's that bug or that bird that you might look for what direction it's coming in, but there's no meaning to it. And that's the beauty of it, for me at least, of being in a city even where there's people just chatting away around me and I don't have to listen to them gossip or insult or be condescending or anything. I'm just in my own little peaceful world. And when I need something, excuse me, where's the bathroom? I just type it in English and show them the Vietnamese version of it, and they'll point. Or you just walk towards and you just go like this, and they'll say, "Oh, you must want the bathroom," and they'll go. I mean,
hand language.
Hand language is very powerful.
Yeah, it's very powerful.
Yeah, powerful.
Yeah, it's very powerful.
Yeah, I think the one place where it can become challenging is when you start to enter a relationship with someone who doesn't speak any English, and you don't speak any of their language. That can be difficult. Now, I haven't experienced that. I've only dated people that speak English. So, from living in America my whole life, and then really you're the first person I've dated who's a foreigner. I've dated foreigners in my own country when I was younger. Maybe they were people in my school that had moved to America or that kind of thing. But you're the first foreigner I dated in a foreign country, and you spoke English. So
I should like just pretend I don't speak English and see how you translate in a Google and make fun and laughing over there like, oh no 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 no, and then just make you write more and more. That's very fun.
Yeah. So I don't know. And the longer you're out of your home country, it doesn't matter what country you're in, and you're going to encounter a lot of people that don't speak English.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're in the Philippines or their dialect is so different from what you can understand. It's as if you don't understand anything they're saying. So you just learn situational understanding. Like when someone's in a restaurant and they need to, like, find a bathroom or something, it's, you know, you just start walking back and going like this, and someone will point. They know what you want. Or you want another beer, or you want another whatever. You just hold that beer up when the waiter's walking by, and they'll point at it, and you just go like this, and boom, another beer comes. So there's all these little nuances that you pick up in a foreign country that you may not know in your home country because you're using language to get everything you want. And in tourist areas, the locals are also adapted in that way. They're trying to figure out what you want without understanding what you're saying.
Yeah, I found one thing in Vietnam. If you ask them how much whenever you pick up your fruits or vegetables, what they do, they're not telling you stuff.
Yeah.
They just take the money, the note, to tell you this is how much you need to pay me.
Exactly.
I just perfectly. Oh, 20,000. Oh, okay. I just take exactly the same what the lady showed me.
Yeah, you did that in the market yesterday. You pointed at the mangoes, and she pulled out, was it a 20?
Yeah.
A 20K dong, and she knew that meant 20,000 dong, which is like 80 cents per kg. And Chung said 2, and the lady put 2 kgs in a bag, and off we went for 40K dong.
Yeah, and also it's very nice. And in public market, the fruit generally is cheaper because I see in the tourist area, you know, those they are putting, the mango is 45,000 for 1 kg. It's like, I would get in 20,000 in the market. And no need bargain at all. Just how much? Okay, pay, that's all.
Yeah. And the other thing I've noticed, almost no matter where you are in the world, the less English that's spoken there, with very few exceptions, you put any group of 5 or 10 people around you and you can't speak the local language, one of those people will speak English, enough English to talk to you, and they want to speak English. They've learned it, and for some reason, maybe they went to school somewhere that spoke English, or they went to classes, and they're not getting to speak it enough because they're in this country that only speaks their original language. And so they hear you they see you, and they're listening, and as soon as you get over there and you're trying to do something or ask questions, they come over and they just start talking to you and they're translating what that person wants. And they're excited about it. And you can always tell they have a smile on their face.
Yeah.
And then after the transaction, or however they help you, they're all, where are you from? I went to Ohio State. Or they tell you some story about where they learned English in school, or that they miss speaking English, or their family's over here. And so it's a really, it's a very often a much more passionate discussion than you would have if everyone around you spoke English. It's almost like a meeting of the minds. And I've had very few experiences where not speaking any English has been a problem for more than like 10 minutes or 5 minutes even before I'm able to figure out a way to get out of that situation. Now, I have a lot of experience doing it. You won't be as good at it maybe at first unless you're good at pantomiming or something, but you know, I think of, like, I went to Moscow once. I flew into Moscow, and they have different script, and the subways all have the script which you can't understand. So it's not like you can read the word and figure out, oh, go this way to Moscow and go that way to St. Petersburg or whatever. You can't even understand the writing that's there, and so you're just looking at a map trying to figure out where you are, which way you're facing, to figure out which way is north and south, that kind of thing. And good luck trying to speak to someone in Moscow that speaks English. It's pretty tough. But it's very rare. Anywhere in Europe, anywhere in South America, Central America, Southeast Asia has English speakers around every corner. And so, I don't know, I would just say don't limit yourself in that way. And like Chung said, at least try it. Try going to one of these countries. And the combination of of not understanding every single word of nonsense everyone around you is speaking. And the combination of taking a little extra time to figure out how to tell someone what you need, all of that adds up to me a very peaceful existence, and one you shouldn't miss, and parts of the world you shouldn't miss just because you're worried about
True.
whether or not you can speak English. So.
Yeah, so pack your luggage and go to one of the country and exploring by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in Vietnam right now, and this is, like I said, this is my third or fourth trip, and I just really love this country, and I just really don't have any trouble doing anything here. There's always somebody that understands enough of what I want, or I'm pointing at an item on a menu, or I'm pointing at food and someone else is eating. It just is not that big a deal. So
Yeah. Good.
good.
So
Thanks for listening.
thank you for listening.
And if you've enjoyed this, make sure to like.
Comment and subscribe.
And that's it. We'll see you in the next video.
Yes.